Alright, hey everybody, and welcome to Zenfolio Live. I'm Robert with Zenfolio, and thanks for joining us here on the live stream. Now today we're going to be talking about using custom logos on Zenfolio, so we're going to get into that here in a little bit. Hey, if this is your first time watching us here on the live stream, make sure to say hi to us and let us know where you're from in the chat. If you have any questions about Zenfolio at all, please get those in the chat so I can get those answered live for you guys today. Now, those of you guys who are watching the live stream, there's a link below this video right now in the description. It says custom, I think it's like custom logo guide or something like that. Make sure that you click on that link, open it up in a new tab, and download the assets that are on that page. I'm going to show you what it is here in a little bit. But what these are is it's a PDF guide to using logos on Zenfolio, and it's also going to come with some PSD files that are pre-sized to help you build your custom logos on your Zenfolio site. All right, like I said, say hi to us in the chat. Let us know where you're from. Today we're talking about custom logos on Zenfolio, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, guys, so I'm in my Zenfolio dashboard, and like I said a second ago, there's a link in the description of this video below. Click on it. Make sure that you get this information. It's going to take you to a page that looks like this. And I'm going to throw this link out in the chat right now as well, just so you guys have that. Those of you guys who are watching the recorded version of this, I'm going to leave that link in the description so you can get this. Click this download button right here. You're going to download a zip file, and inside of that is going to be a logo PDF guide. It's going to tell you all the different places you can upload logos on Zenfolio, and then it's also going to give you some PSD files as well. So make sure that you guys do that. Let me just show you really quick what that PDF is going to look like. It should be about a 9-page PDF. That starts off just talking about all the different places that you can use logos on Zenfolio. So there's the homepage logo, there is the header logo, the footer logo. There's lots of different places where you can use logos on your Zenfolio site, and all of that information is going to be in that PDF. It's going to tell you where to go to upload these logos. It's going to give you size recommendations, and it's going to let you know different tips and things like that. And then if you scroll to the very bottom, the last page on that PDF document is actually going to be a quick master list of all of the logo sizes, and then it's going to give you some tips. Now, the logo sizes that are mentioned in this document, most of them are max sizes. And what you want to think about, especially on things like your header logo and your homepage menu logo, is that those are the maximum sizes for those logos. And you want to kind of scale it back a little bit when you're creating your logo. That way your logo doesn't dominate your website, because you really want it to complement your site, not dominate it. That way it's there, people can see your branding, but it doesn't take away attention from your images. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how to create a header logo. We're going to upload it into the account. I'm going to show you how to do this in Photoshop. Now I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. I am a horrible designer, so please do not make fun of me too much in the chat for this awful logo that I'm about to design. And actually, I've already got one that's pretty awful that I kind of created earlier, but I'm still going to take you guys through a little bit of the design process in Photoshop, show you how to create a logo, show you how you can export it so that when you export it, it's in a transparent PNG file, and you can use it on your header, and it will flow over whatever background that you have. Now, going along during the process, guys, if you have any questions, whether it's on topic about logos or about something else, make sure that you let me know in the chat, or at least say hi. And if you guys were around last week, we talked about some of the photographs that I take, and I was called out on some of my photos, so I'm going to share some of my photos and a couple of stories with you guys later on in the live stream. So make sure that you stick around for that. I'm going to be sharing a couple of photos, telling you a couple of short stories about that, about each photo towards the end of the stream. All right, so let me jump over here into Photoshop really quick. And actually, let me scroll up here and I'll just kind of show you which logo we're going to be creating. So we're going to be doing a header logo, which is right here. And this is just to give you some information about the header logo, and this is where the header logo will appear. So you can have it up in the top left corner of your site, you can have it in the center, or on the right hand side, depending on how you want to set it up. Now, the max height and width of that header logo is 800 by 240 pixels. However, like I said, you don't want your logo to dominate your website. You want it to be you want it to complement your site. So you want it to not take away too much focus from your images. So we're going to go in Photoshop really quick. I'm going to create this, and I'm creating this on one of the templates that's available in this download for the header logo. So let me bring Photoshop up right here. And this is one of the templates. It's the header or footer logo template, as you can see up here. And this white area here basically represents the largest logo that you can upload into your header. Now, I can't stress enough, guys, how I would definitely not recommend going as large as you can. You want to find a nice, fine balance. You don't want your logo to take over everything. You want people to be focusing on your images while being aware of your brand. So what I'm going to do really quick is let me just start off by creating a text layer. So right here, I'm just going to turn this off. We definitely want to turn this layer off when we export as well, because we want to export this as a transparent PNG file without background layers, so that when we upload it, it floats over our background. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that off, and then we're going to create the logo layer up here. So I'm just going to create a really quick and really probably terrible text layer, and I'm going to put in black Onyx photography. All right, so I got this text layer right here, and what I'm going to do really quick is just kind of move it around here, get it centered up a little bit. And then I'm not really a huge fan of this font. Maybe I would change the font around a little bit to, I don't know, what's something I've used before here. Let's try this font here. Like I said, guys, I'm not the greatest designer. I'm not at all a graphic designer, to be quite honest. I'm just really, what I want to show you guys is how to make sure that you create the best logo possible. And the important thing for you guys to see here is that I'm creating this text layer and I don't have a background layer. Now, if you want a background layer just to start off with, to kind of look and see how it's going to look over a white background, you can definitely do that. The point is, again, is that you want to be creating this on a separate layer so you can turn this off. So once you have that done, let me just go ahead and turn on this logo file that I created earlier. Here you guys can see how terrible this is. But once you've got your logo created, what we're going to do, the next step that you want to do is you want to make sure that you're cropping in as tight as possible on that logo. You don't want to export it like this with all of this white space to get a white space around it. You want to crop in really nice and tight on this logo. Now, just to show you guys what the size this is really quick, I'm going to go up, hit image and image size, let you guys take a look at this. Let me pull this over. So the whole base canvas size that I'm working on there is 800 pixels by 240 pixels. So now what I want to do, like I said, is I want to crop in really tight on this logo file, and I want to get rid of all of this dead space right here. So the easiest way to do that is to command click on your logo layer, and that's actually going to select just what you have right in there in that logo layer. And then the next thing I'm going to do is just hit the crop tool. And now that crops it around there really nice and tight. I can hit enter, and now I've cropped in pretty much as tight as I can get on that logo layer. And I'm pretty much ready to export this. Now again, you want to make sure that any other layers are turned off except for just your logo layer. And then depending on what version of Photoshop you have, there are a couple of different ways to export this. So one of the ways that you can do it is if you go up here to File, and if you have Photoshop CC 2018, which is what I'm using, go to File, and then you're going to go to Export, and quick export as a PNG. And as long as you have the background layers turned off, that should come out as a transparent PNG file. Now, those of you guys who are using older versions of Photoshop, like CS6, which is what I use on my personal computer, there's a different way to do this. You can go up to, it's under File, and you guys can't see really, let me see if I can get, I can't really show you, but it's under File. and then I think it's called Save for Web. So right here under Export, there's a Save for Web option right here. Click that Save for Web option, and this is going to bring up a dialog box that looks something like this. Let me just drag this over for you guys really quick. Let me get it resized. Oops. Let me get this resized. Everything's popping up on the wrong window on me. I don't have Photoshop set up for doing it on the live stream. So let me pull this over here. All right, here we go. So this is the dialog box for that Save for Web option. And this is how you want to make sure that you export this PNG file. You want to come over here to this, make sure that you select PNG 24. And then when you click on this, make sure that this transparency option is checked. So let me zoom in here just a little bit. So you guys can see when I uncheck that transparency option, the background becomes white. We're after the transparency. So we want to make sure that's checked right there. And then what we're going to do is at the bottom down here, let me see if I can bring it up to where you guys can see it. Now, at the bottom down there, there is a save option. So I'm just going to click that save option. It's going to ask me where I want to save it. And I am going to save that just in a folder on my computer here. All right. So again, the important things with the logo when you're creating these in Photoshop is to, one, create them on a separate layer from your background layer. That way later on you don't have to try to extract that background out. You can just simply turn it off. Two, once you've finished creating your logo, crop in as tight as you can and get rid of any of that dead space around there, because you can add padding in later when you upload this logo to Zenfolio. You don't want it there on the logo itself. That way your logo is as big as it can be. And then the next thing is going to be exporting it as a transparent PNG file. So that's either going to be through File, Export, Quick, I think it's File, Export, Quick Export as a PNG. Or for people using older versions of Photoshop, it's going to be that Save for Web option right here. And making sure that you use the PNG 24 and turning on that transparency option. Now, once you have that logo exported, you need to go upload it into Zenfolio. So this was a header logo. So what we're going to do is go in here to my dashboard. And we're going to go and we are going to go to Customize Website to where we can load this up. So I'm going to hover over Website. And guys, if your dashboard, if your Zenfolio account looks a little bit different than mine, you might be using a newer version. Most of the options that I'm going to show you here are still kind of in the same place. So you guys are going to be going to Website and then click on Customize Website. Now I'm going to open this in a new tab. I'm a big fan of working in multiple tabs. I don't like having to wait for things to open up again when I want to go back somewhere. So I really like working in multiple tabs, and that's why I do that. So now we're going to click in here, and here we are in Zenfolio. This is Customize View. So this is where you actually do the visual customization of your Zenfolio website. You can change the colors, you can change the layout, but today what we're going to be doing is changing the logo. So right now you can see that this is using just my display name, which is My Studio. And what we want to do is we want to upload that header logo that I just created. Now on the home page, you can use 3 different logos. There's the header logo, the footer logo, and the homepage logo. So first you kind of want to decide which logo you want to use. My personal recommendation is that you go with the header logo. It's up here up top, and you can show this logo on any page that you have your site header shown on. Now the homepage logo will only appear on the homepage. So first, to see what logo you're using, go up to Options, and then you can see right here on the Page Elements tab if you're using the page header or if you're using the homepage logo. Now it's possible to have both of these turned on, so you can have both the homepage logo set to show and both the page header set to show. And it's actually going to show 2 logos, 2 sets of menus. It's not an option that you want, to be honest. So what you want to do is either use the page header or the homepage logo and homepage menu. So for this one, I'm going to use the page header. So I've got the page header set to show, the homepage logo and homepage menu set to hide. Let's go ahead and go down here and apply this. So we're going to apply that. which is not going to change anything. And now what we're going to do is go to where we actually upload the header logo right here. And that's going to be over here in the left-hand corner where it says site header right here. So you're going to go down to the left-hand corner, click that site header. A dialog box is going to come up. Click on the logo tab right here. And first also too, you'll want to check your layout here. So there's a couple of different layouts you can use. I'm going to use this layout where it drops the menu below my logo. And then we're going to go to the logo tab. And I'm going to upload my logo here. So I'm going to upload that, and let's see. Let's just use this one right here. And I'm going to click upload. That's going to upload my logo as a transparent PNG file. And then what we're going to do is right from there, I'm just going to go ahead and apply it. We'll take a look and see if we're happy with the size. If not, there's a couple of different options that we can use to control that logo size. So you can resize it in Photoshop if you need to do that, which I definitely recommend, and I should have said this earlier. During this process, I would definitely go ahead and keep that Photoshop file open and handy. That way, if you have to come back and make some adjustments to your logo file, you can do that without having to go back, re-upload or reopen Photoshop and find the logo file and all that. So that's one way you can do it. If you're not happy with the size of the logo and the way it looks on your website, you can go and just downsize it in Photoshop and re-upload it. Now, the other thing you can do too with the header logo is it actually has an automatic scaling option that you can turn on. And what that does is it will automatically downsize your logo based on a couple of different factors. One of those being your header height. So you can manually adjust your header height. You can also adjust your logo padding, and that's going to downsize your logo. Let me see if I can't refresh this. My internet's acting up a little bit, guys. Hopefully this will not take that long to upload, and hopefully my internet's just being slow. Let's try it one more time. We're going to go down here to site header, upload a logo image. I'm going to choose the file, and then let's just upload this right here. Hit upload, and hopefully this time we don't have to wait. There we go. Just an internet glitch. So that logo is uploaded now, and it's going to take a second to render. We should see it appear here in a second. So if you guys have any questions about this process, if you have any questions about logos, about anything in general in Zenfolio, make sure you get those in the chat. I've got Shannon hanging out with me today, moderating the chat, so I appreciate that. And in fact, let me check on you guys here on chat really quick. So I've got Home Phone. He says, aloha, it's Flo. And then Shannon says, hey, she's here. And yeah, absolutely, Shanna's awesome. Make sure if you have any questions, you get those on the chat. Shanna's going to help you out. She's going to give you some links, and then I'll be answering your guys' questions as well. So make sure to get all of your questions in the chat. So let me jump back here to the dash or the visitor view for, sorry, I'm tongue-tied. The customized view for a second. We've got the logo uploaded. Now what we're going to do is come down here, and we're just going to go ahead and click apply. So now we're going to see that logo pop up in the header of my website. We'll see what we think about it from here. For me, I think this is a little big compared to the rest of my website. It kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. Not to mention it's a pretty ugly logo on top of that. So what I'm going to do is show you the two different ways that you can downsize that. Now, the first way is going to be just doing it inside of Zenfolio by controlling your header height, your logo padding. You can downsize that logo. So what we're going to do is click back on site header. And then what we're going to do is go right here, and there is a scale logo image option right here that's turned on already automatically, which means it's automatically going to scale the logo. So now you can turn that off, which I'm going to do that really quick. I'm going to turn that off, and I'm going to apply that, and let's just see how this logo looks at its actual size. It might be way too big, it might be way too small, and it looks like it's quite a bit bigger, which is not what I was going for. So let's go back to site header, and let's turn that scale logo image back on automatically. And now let me show you guys how to control the size. What you're going to do is go to, I think it's layout, and down here there is an option to where you can control the header height right here. And so right now my header height is at a custom height of 100 pixels. And I can go down to as small as 30. I don't think I want to go down that small, but let's go down to 50 just so you can see how that logo resizes. So it's down to 50 pixels. I'm going to go to apply. We're going to take a look at that and see what we think. So now you can see the logo is quite a bit smaller. That's a pretty decent size. I'm still not a huge fan of it. And the other thing, honestly, that I'm not a big fan of, aside from this atrocious logo, is how tight it is on everything. So that's good that we cropped it in really tight, but now I would kind of like there to be some space around that. Well, you can add that space in Zenfolio. So if you go back to site header, go back to the logo tab, there's actually a vertical and a horizontal padding option right here for the logo. So what we're going to do is click on vertical padding. I'm going to turn that to custom, and let's just add 20 pixels of vertical padding all the way around the logo. And that logo is going to get a little bit smaller. So what you could do is you could compensate for that. If you like the size, what you could do is compensate. So we're going to go down here to layout and maybe add 20 pixels back so that my header, so that my logo stays the same size, but maybe my header is a little bit bigger. So let's do that. And then we'll click apply. And now take a look. The logo should be a little bit smaller. The header should be a little bit larger. Actually, the logo is way smaller. So it's quite a bit smaller. Sometimes it can be a trial and error thing where you're bouncing back and forth. So let's just go back here one more time. We'll go to logo again, and we'll take that 20 pixels out, and maybe we'll just do 5 pixels around it and hit apply. And now this time the logo should be a little bit bigger, and I'm actually pretty happy with that. It's got a little bit of padding around it. The logo is a nice size. So for me, even though I do not like this logo at all, I would probably leave this about in that area there somewhere. Now the other option, like I said, is you can just resize it in Photoshop, re-upload the logo, and set it to that do not resize, keep as uploaded, and then you can just upload it and it will keep that same size. All right, guys, let me jump back to my dashboard really quick, check on you guys in chat. All right, so let's see. One Take Pros photo video and agency. Wow, I am tongue-tied crazy today. Says, is there a way to set up a gallery before a client's event and automatically let them know when the photos are uploaded? So you can create the gallery before your clients, before the photos are uploaded. And if that's something that you're going to do, if it's a repeat client, personally, what I would probably do is create a client group for that client. The reason is you can create a friendly URL, and that link will stay the same. And then anytime you do new shoots for that client, you can put a new gallery in there. They can go back to that same link. They don't have to worry about keeping up with different links for different galleries and see all of their photos. Now, as far as automatically letting them know that the photos are there, what you would need to do is you would need to have their email address so you could send them an email invite to the gallery or the group as soon as your images were uploaded. So let me show you how to set this up, show you how it works and what it looks like, and how to set up that group. So what we're going to do is we are just going to go into, let me get here. We're going to go into photos. So we're going to go to where all the photos are stored in the Zenfolio account. You can get there by just clicking on photos and hitting all, or you can just click right on the word photos up here. But personally, especially if you're going to be dealing with a client that you're going to have repeat jobs for a lot of times. Maybe it's a sports team that you're going to shoot their entire, season, and hopefully every season from this point on. Maybe it's a model that you're going to do a lot of repeat sessions with. Like I said, I suggest giving that client a client group. That way their link always stays the same and they have access to their different galleries. Now you can limit their access to the other galleries. You can turn some private if you want. That way they can't access old ones. But this way their link always stays the same. So the first thing you would want to do is set them up with a clients group. So I've got a clients group already created. This is just where all of my client galleries go. But I could create a new clients group inside of this by hovering over that group, clicking the little caret menu, and then saying new group. And let's just call this one take clients. All right. So now we have a client group created. And this group is, as you can see, it's empty. And so now what you can do is, if you have a gallery ready, you don't even have to have a gallery ready. At this point, you could give them the link to this group and then just notify them when their photos are ready. Now, what I like to do is create a friendly URL for this group. So what you're going to do is click on that group. All right. And then over here, you're going to find sharing and client access over here. Now, if your Zenfolio account does not look like mine, it looks a little bit different. What you're going to be looking for is clicking on the group, and then there should be a little icon up here somewhere that says actions. That's the one that you're going to be clicking on, and then look for the share option. And when you click on that share option, which I'm clicking on sharing and client access, it's going to bring up a dialog box that looks something like this. And this is where we can make a friendly URL. And basically what this does is this simplifies the URL for the client. So right now you can see the URL for this gallery is blackonyx.zenfolio.com, blah, 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 blah. It's not very personable. So what you could do is come in here to the group ID and we'll say one take client. And so now this client's URL is a lot more personal. It's a lot easier for them to remember. You can click save after you have that set up. And then what you can do is, let's say that this client, their shoot is tomorrow, and we know that in 2 or 3 more days, we're going to have the photos uploaded into there and ready to go. What you can do is go ahead and set up an invite. You click on invite right here, and then you can click schedule to send, and let's email them on Monday at noon. And then, so what we're going to do is go right here and enter an email. And then you can continue to preview this. It'll send them an email, and then you hit schedule email. On that date, they're going to get this email that lets them know their galleries are ready, and it actually gives them the link right to that client group. Now, after you finish the shoot, you come in here, click on the group right here, and then you click upload. Upload your photos in there. It's going to create a gallery inside of there. So let's pretend like we did that. So new gallery, and we'll call it shoot 1. Right? So later on down the week, maybe you do another shoot for this client, or maybe in a couple of months you do another shoot for this client. You can come to that same group right here and add in a new gallery. So now that client has one link that they have to keep track of. One link that they have to keep track of where they can go and they can see all of their photos that are in there. So that's personally what I would do. Hopefully one take that answers your questions. Now, I do want to clarify something. If your Zenfolio account looks different, you're probably using the new photo page, and currently there are the groups do not have the share access thing that I was talking about. So the what you'll have to do is you'll have to click on the group, and then up here there is an access share up here that you'll have to click on. So anyway, one take, hopefully that answers your question. If I need to clarify anything, if you have any more questions, if I need to go back over anything, please let me know in the chat and I will be sure to get those answered for you. All right, let me check on you guys really quick and hop back to my dashboard here. All right, let's see. One take, Homefo says, did we ditch Cheryl and Kayla? So Cheryl was going to come hang out with us today, but I believe she got stuck on a phone call helping one of you awesome guys. Not stuck, I'm sorry. She was on a phone call helping one of you guys, one of our awesome clients, and just was not able to make it. She did want to be here, and she did tell me to apologize to everybody. But we've got the super awesome Shanna hanging out with us, helping us. So no worries there. Kayla is taking a little bit of a break from YouTube Live, so she might be back. I'm not sure yet. She's taking a little bit of a break, but she's still going to be pumping out some really awesome videos for you guys to help you make the most out of your account. So definitely make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can get our videos. Kayla's going to be doing a lot more videos. She's just kind of taking a break from the live stream right now. Let's see. Greg says, hello all. Hey, Greg. Awesome to have you here hanging out with us. Thanks for coming in and joining us. And then One Take says, thank you. That was very helpful. Awesome, One Take. I'm glad that information was helpful. Hey, guys, make sure you stick around. Probably here in another 10 or 15 minutes or a little later on. Anyway, I'm going to share some of my photos because you guys asked me for it last week. I'm going to share a couple of my photos, tell you some of the stories. You guys can make fun of my photos. What a terrible photographer I am. I'm probably just as bad as a graphic designer, but I'm going to share some of my photos with you guys so you can see some of the stuff that I do. Let me grab an email question really quick. Those of you guys who are watching the recorded version of this, keep hitting that link in the description below. You guys are doing awesome. There's a link in the description of the video below. It says questions for next week. Make sure that you click on that and ask us questions so I can answer them the following week if you're not able to join us here live. Those of you guys who are just now joining us on the live stream, there's a link in the description of the video below. It says something like Custom Logo Guide. Make sure that you open that in a new tab and click the download button in the top right. You're going to get a PDF guide for using logos on Zenfolio, and you're also going to get several different PSD files with pre-sized logo templates there for you guys to use to help you customize your website and use your own custom logos. All right, let me grab an email question really quick, guys. Let's see. My client has locked themselves out of their gallery again after entering the incorrect password too many times. How do I unblock them? Well, guys, that is a security feature on Zenfolio. So if you use password-protected client galleries, one of the things that you should know is that people can't just come to your galleries and hammer away and try to guess the password and just keep entering a password over and over again until they get it right. After they enter the incorrect password too many times, they're actually going to get blocked for a little bit. And that time is kind of determined by a security algorithm that I have no clue how to decipher, but it varies. Most of the time, it's within a couple of hours. After that, they can come back and try again, and as long as they use the right password, they can get access to their gallery. Now, if this is an emergency, you can let your clients access their password-protected gallery by changing it from password-protected to public. I understand. I have those clients too who it just seems like no matter what they do, they always enter their password wrong. Usually they're on a phone and they enter their password wrong and they get blocked and then they call me. And so, you know, as long as they're calling me and letting me know, I don't have a problem at all going in and getting them access. So what you would do is go click on the gallery. And let me just change this up a little bit so you guys can see it a little bit better. So let's say Ryan and Sarah were trying to access their gallery. They entered the wrong password too many times and they got blocked. They called me up. They're like, hey, we're here with my great-grandmother. She's about to hop on a plane back to wherever she's from, and we just wanted to share our photos with her really quick. Can you give us access? You can go in here to the gallery. Just click on that gallery right here. And then what you're going to do is come over to access or up here, and you're just going to switch that gallery from being password protected to public, and that will let them access it. Now, if you do that, one of the things that you probably want to do, especially if the gallery is sensitive subject matter, maybe the family did not want it showing up in Google search results, before you switch that over to being public, click the search and metadata tab and turn off the indexing. So set that to do not include, and then also remove it from all of this stuff here, just so that it keeps that gallery safe while you've swapped the access over to public. So we're just going to swap that access over to public, hit save, and now even though they have been blocked, they should be able to access that gallery now since it's public. Again, I would only do that in really emergency types of situations. Depending on the client, sometimes I'll have clients contact me, or I'll get an email that says somebody's blocked, And especially if they don't call me and let me know that they're blocked, I don't do anything. I just let it sit there, let it ride out the time, and then usually they'll try back in about an hour or two. And then as long as they have the right password, like I said, they can get access given that they have the right password. So anyway, I hope that answers your question. I know, like I said, I have those clients too who it just seems like no matter what, they get the password wrong, and it can definitely turn into a frustrating situation. But it's for the security of your images. It's for the security of your clients. So that people can't just hack into your galleries and just access your images. So while it can be frustrating when it gets to a boiling point, it is for your protection and your client's protection. All right, let me check on you guys here in chat really quick. All right, so one photo says, many guests might want to sign up from a different wedding. How do I match the guests to the proper weddings I shoot? So, hey, one of the things that I would definitely recommend is to start using visitor sign-in. So what visitor sign-in is going to do is it's going to ask your clients for their name and email, but it's also going to tag them with the gallery or group that they signed in from. So this is kind of a process that I do with my clients. Let me show you how it works. So what you're going to want to do is if you go here to photos, and let's say that you've got this group here that you created, right? You've got this group that you created and you haven't uploaded the photos yet. What you can do is when you're talking to that client, when you get that client's information, go ahead and email them the gallery or the link to this, but make sure that you have visitor sign-in turned on. So I'm going to show you where that's at. It's right over here. I'm not really sure where it's at on the new photos page. I think it's up here somewhere up top, but what you're going to be looking for is visitor sign-in. You want to turn that on, and let me just show you what that looks like. So right here it says display a visitor sign-in page. One of the things that I like to turn off is I don't really want an email anytime somebody does this visitor sign-in. But what I do want is I do want this second option on right here where it automatically updates my contact list. That's what you're after, because what this is going to do, and I'll show it to you in action here in a second, what this is going to do is when your clients go to this group or the gallery or wherever they're going, it's going to pop up a little box and it's going to ask for their name and their email address. Now they enter that, then they get to go in and see the photos. What our system does is it takes that information and stores it in your account, and it tags it with the gallery that they did that through, so that you know what gallery that client signed in for. So let me just show you really quick. There are messaging settings here where you can actually just put in a message to your clients. Here are the sign-in fields. You can make their name required, their email required, phone number and all that stuff. I'm just going to turn this on, and then let me show you how this works. So I'm just going to save and preview. That's going to open up a new tab, and it's going to show you what this sign-in looks like. So here I am, and I would go in here and do a sign-in. But let me actually do this through an incognito window really quick so you can actually see the true benefit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the link to this group that we turned that sign-in on. So I'm clicking on the group, going to sharing, and I'm just going to grab that link right here. Now we've got visitor sign-in turned on right here. Actually, let me make sure it's turned on. Okay, we got visitor sign-in turned on. And now what I'm going to do, and what I suggest that you guys do anytime you want to test things out like you're a true visitor to your website, I'm using Google Chrome. You want to test things out in a private or incognito window. So what I'm going to do is go up to Google Chrome. I'm going to hit File, and then there's an option that says New Incognito Window. Or if I could ever remember, it's Shift, Command, and N. And that will open up a new incognito window that looks like this. And this lets me test out my Zenfolio account like I'm actually logged out of the account, even though I'm not, which is I don't want to log out because I don't want to have to log back in, to be quite honest. So here we are. And now if I go here and I just put in Robert, and I put in zenvisitor@gmail.com, and I continue. If there were photos in here, if there were galleries, I could click on here and view the images. But the important thing is what just happened. So now let me go back to my Zenfolio account. I'm going to do a Command R refresh, and let me show you what happened. So now if I go up here to communications and we click on contact lists right here, these are all the people who have done visitor sign-ins through this Zenfolio account, or these are all the fake ones that I've done. But I can actually sort these to only see people who have signed in through a certain gallery, through a certain wedding gallery. So what I can do is click here and I can say, okay, let's look at only the people who have signed in through One Takes client gallery here. I'll hit apply. Now I'm going to see only the people who have signed in right here. Now you can view it here, you can email them here, but also from the gallery, whenever you get ready to invite or email back out to them, what you can do is click on that group. So right here, we're going to click on that group, and then you can go to invite, and we can pull from the contacts list, and we can say, you know what, let's only email the people who have registered to see this or who have done sign in. So this is a good way to get people to register so that you get their emails and you can email them once the photos are uploaded. So hopefully that answers your question about how to keep them associated. It's a really great way to do that. I think we've done a live stream that talks about this, about setting up fake galleries to register clients and to be able to market to them based on their interest. It looks like Shanna shared out a link, so definitely check out that link. It's and it will help you out with that. All right, let me check back on chat really quick for you guys. Let's see. Home Phone says, or use another browser like Firefox, Internet Explorer, Edge, etc. Sometimes, so yeah, absolutely. Just like Home Phone's saying, though, for sure. If you don't want to use the incognito window, you can use one browser for you to be logged into Zenfolio, and then you can use a different browser to do your testing. The key is basically that you have a browser or a window that you're not logged into Zenfolio with. And the easiest way to do that, in my opinion, is an incognito window, a private window. But if you have another browser, you can definitely open up another browser and do that as well. And also, sometimes you can find, as he's saying as well, sometimes you can find issues with the other browsers and report them to us so that we are aware if there's other issues going on with these other browsers. All right, let me get back to my dashboard really quick and grab another email question. I'm going to try to take one more email question and then see where we're at with time, and we'll go into talking about some photos. So let me grab another email question. Let's see. My slideshow images look blurry. What can I do to fix this? So, depending on what slideshow you're talking about, there are a couple of different things that it could be. If you're talking about your homepage slideshow, there's a video on our YouTube channel called Setting Up Your Homepage Slideshow. If you haven't watched it yet, definitely watch it. It's going to help you set up your homepage slideshow and show you how to make it look the best. If this is on a photo page, there's an option that actually scales your slideshow images to the browser. And what you might want to do is you might want to turn that off. So what you're going to want to do is go to the gallery that this is happening in. So let me show you really quick. We're just going to go to a gallery. And then what we're going to do is click on a gallery here. Let's try the Ryan and Sarah one right here. And then we're going to hover over this preview button, and I'm going to open up Customize View for this gallery in a new tab. All right. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn off the image scaling. So we're going to go up here to the top left, and we're going to actually get to the photo slideshow page. So we're going to click here. We're going to go to the, gallery slideshow page. We're going to click on that. That's going to take us to our gallery slideshow page. And then if we go up here to options, and let's see where this is at. I think it's going to be right here. So go to options, uncheck use default, go down to the slideshow, and there's this option right here that says scale images. And basically what that's going to do is that's going to be scaling your images. If your images are looking blurry or pixelated, you want to turn that option off right here and click apply. Now, if you don't want to do that for all of your galleries, you can just do it for this gallery and publish it, and it will only do that for this gallery. Or if you want to turn the scaling option off for all of your galleries, you can click save as default, and then that will become the default setting for all of your galleries. And as long as you haven't gone in and changed any settings, the galleries will follow that setting and the scaling option will be turned off. All right. Let me check on you guys here on chat. Let me get back to my dashboard. And let's see what's going on here with you guys on chat. So we got, let's see. One says, you knocked it out of the park again. Thanks. Awesome. I'm glad that helped. Yeah, definitely. So there, like I said, there are a couple of videos. I think I did a live stream on it. I just can't remember. Visitor sign-in is so useful for gathering client information and building an email list, because there's so much you can do in Zenfolio with that information. It's definitely worth checking out as well. There's also a video series. Guys, if you haven't watched this yet, it's on our YouTube channel. I think it's called Creating or Running Your Own Sales and Campaign. It's going to take you through the process of creating email templates. It's going to show you how to create a coupon that will work really good for you. And then it will show you how to create a marketing campaign. And I think in the links of those videos is also our white paper that's a how to make a marketing plan that our awesome marketing team put together for you guys. So make sure you check out that video series and check out that white paper. It's definitely super helpful to check out. All right, guys, we've got about, I don't know, 10 more minutes left. So let me show you guys some of my photos that I've taken over the years. And I've only got about 6 or 7, I think, here. I tried to pull some that had interesting stories, but stories that were not, how do I say it? Stories that I could not get in trouble for. Let's just put it that way. So let me show you guys some of my photos really quick. I forget where I put them at. Right here. All right. And let me just, right here. So here we go. So this is a photo. We had a Zenfolio employee photo contest a while back, as they were talking about last week. And this is my photo from that contest. Now this is actually from an abandoned nursing home that a friend and I went and explored. And this chair was set up just like this. I didn't stage it. I just came in, saw it, and I have this thing about chairs in abandoned places, and I thought I would take a shot of it. Now, the next photo is the same chair, but I did stage it. So let me go to the next photo here really quick. Now, this is the same chair, and I did stage this. Now, this photo, what I did was I took this chair, and I actually found some mini blind strings, and I tied a string up here at this top corner, had that tied to the ceiling, threw a flash over here somewhere to throw some shadow on the wall, and then took a shot of that, and then I just masked out that string in Photoshop. So giving away some of the magic, I guess, but that's how I took that photo. I think both of the photos that I just showed you, if I'm not mistaken, they were taken about 5 or even, no, it's been longer than that. Longer than that, probably on a D90. I'm not 100% sure, but it was probably on my Nikon D90. So let me just go to another photo here really quick. This is a different abandoned nursing home. Now, this photo I took during the day. So I actually took this during the day, and this photo is actually a composite of 1, 2, 3, 4 different images. So I took this photo during the day, and then I just dropped the exposure down to make it look like it was nighttime. And then what I did was I actually went into the hallway here and did a long exposure of the hallway, and I did a long exposure in each room. And then I brought those together in Photoshop and masked them together to kind of give it this look like the lights are on in this weird, creepy nursing home. So that's another photo. And then this one is an abandoned school that is no longer around. It was really about to storm super hardcore, as you can see from the clouds up here. And I got inside the school just in time to actually avoid all that crazy rain and the storm that was coming. So this school is no longer there. And I got a couple of photos from inside this school. So this is the auditorium from inside this school. And I really wish that this place was still there because I would love to go back and revisit it and take some more shots of it. But unfortunately, like I said, it's gone. And let's see, this is another shot of that auditorium right here. And then I've got a couple more photos to share with you guys. So this next shot right here, this is a abandoned theme park. I'm not going to give out the location. It's actually not there anymore. I went into this place. It was pretty amazing. It was pretty amazing. So this is an abandoned theme park. It was probably about, I don't know, a couple of acres big. And now these buildings were life size. These were really big buildings here. And as you can see, it looks like China. But there were lots of miniature buildings and small scale things like the China Wall all around this place as well. Now, the story behind this shot, I didn't know it at the time, but apparently this place was... Apparently, I probably should not have been there. I was up here taking photos of the place, and I heard a noise. And I just happened to catch a security guard truck pulling down. He was coming from this direction right here. So luckily I was kind of up in the second story building where I just kind of just stood out of sight and waited for the security guard to leave. And then I quietly gathered up my things and climbed back down out of the building and left the premises because I did not want to go to jail, to be honest, which I don't know if I would have, but I didn't want to take the chance. Next photo here is the same place. This place was amazing. I wish this place was still around. I've got a ton more photos of it that I need to go back and revisit. But this place was amazing. So this was like a little rock garden that they had. And then this is, I think this is the last, nope. This is one of the little miniatures that I was telling you guys about. So this is a little bitty miniature. That's grass down here at the bottom. So those aren't trees and bushes. That's actually a blade of grass. This thing's probably all of about maybe 2 foot high at the max. And I just kind of leaned down and took a picture. This is actually part of a miniature Great Wall that they had there. And then the last photo here is just another picture of that rock garden. So there's some of my photos, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed those. Oh, and here's a band that I photographed. I forgot I had this one in here. So if you guys are horror movie fans, there is a place in Pennsylvania called Centralia. And if you're horror movie fans, it's the movie Silent Hill, or the game Silent Hill, and the movie kind of is based on this place with the whole underground mine fire and all that stuff. Now, after I found this place out, I had to go and visit it and check it out. And I don't think I think I have one photo of the place. To be honest, I was a little underimpressed. I was hoping to see a lot of cool stuff like smoke coming up out of the ground. But it apparently has settled down quite a bit. Now, you can drive through it. It's got some cool places to check out. There's some really cool stretches of the road there where it's cracked and graffitied. But when I was there, I was a little disappointed. And then I happened to see this band stop. And I started talking to these guys. They're Gabriel and the Apocalypse. Super cool guys. I started talking to them. And they were on away from a show. They were out on tour. And we just happened to do a quick impromptu shoot. And so that's really the story behind this photo. Is we just stopped at the cemetery there and just did a quick shoot. Lighting is, I think, 2 speed lights, 1 camera left, 1 camera right. The next thing is another one from Centralia, so this will be my last photo. Hopefully you guys aren't too bored yet. This is another one from Centralia. Now, I've obviously done a little bit of post-processing, or cheating, apparently, as Home Phone is calling it. But there was this really cool, old-school console TV out there, and I just thought it was really cool. I grabbed this quick shot, did some editing in Photoshop, and then, like I said, this is probably pretty old as well. This was probably shot on a D90 as well. So those are my photos, guys. Hopefully you didn't, or they weren't too boring, and hopefully you guys enjoyed that little bit there. Let me go back and check on you guys here and chat. Yeah, so Home Phone says composite. That's cheating. I thought what you went into that scary building during a storm. I was actually at that nursing home doing a shoot for a company called the World Golf Tour, where we were photographing Pinehurst #2, So I don't know if you guys play any online golfing at World Golf Tour, but if you ever play that and you play Pinehurst number 2, some of the photos that I took are some of the scenes that you'll see are photos that I took, or composites of photos that I took along with other people. And we also had some people from Zenfolio that were working on that project as well that we didn't know. I didn't know at the time. We actually didn't meet each other till later on, but it was pretty cool. But yeah, during the day, I'm not a golfer, or during the night, I'm not a golfer, so there wasn't a lot for me to do in the area. So I happened to stumble across that and went and checked it out. But yeah, it was a cheat shot. I composited it. I dropped the exposure down and made it look like it was night. I didn't run in there from a storm. And no, just to clarify, I do not kick any doors down. I am a very firm believer in leaving things the way I find. So when I go into a building, I don't change anything. I don't move anything around. I don't break stuff. I don't vandalize it. I don't paint. I don't take chalk and write on the walls and things like that. I like to photograph things the way they are, except I might move a chair around occasionally, but that's about it. All right, guys. Well, hopefully that wasn't too boring. Let me see if I can get one more question answered from the email list, and then unfortunately we will be out of time. So let me grab this email question here really quick. Let's see. Is there a way to add a photo to the contact page? So Zenfolio does have a built-in contact page. Unfortunately, there's not a way to add a photo to it, but what I would suggest doing is creating a custom contact page. So let me show you the built-in contact page really quick. If you hover over website, you go to built-in pages, there is a built-in contact page right here. And like I said, there's not a lot of customizing that you can do to this. You can change the layout, but there's not much more that you can do as far as customizing that built-in contact page. This is pretty much it. You can change the layout here, and as you can see, you have 3 different layout options with no photo. So what I would suggest doing is creating a custom contact page. Now, we did do, I think it's a video tutorial. It should be on the channel. Just search custom pages. We did a couple of tutorials and a couple of live streams all about custom pages. And I think Kayla did those, and if I remember right, she did a really awesome job. So check those out. They are going to show you how to build custom pages in Zenfolio, show you all of the options and what they're capable of doing. And I would definitely recommend doing a custom contact page versus using the built-in one if you want to customize it and put things like photos on there and stuff. So custom pages are really easy. You can hover over a website right here, go to custom page, and there's probably a ton that I have in here. Just click create new. And it's basically just like the blog. You can go in here and put in your information. You can add photos and different things like that. So I definitely recommend going with a custom contact page. All right, let me check on you guys in chat. We are just about out of time. In fact, we are pretty much out of time. Shanna says, love the photos. HomePhoto says, I got to hire you to Photoshop my pictures so they are all pretty. Well, hopefully I can see some of your photos sometime soon, HomePhoto. I'm sure that they're pretty awesome. I know Shanna takes some pretty amazing photos as well. I've seen a lot of her work, and she does some pretty awesome, work as well. All right, guys, don't forget to click that link that's in the description below. Get to that custom logo guide. Download those PSD files. I want to say thank you to everybody who came and hang out today. Thanks for all your questions. Thanks, Shanna, for helping out. And I hope you guys have a great week. And I will see you all next week. If you're not subscribed, make sure to click that subscribe button. If you're not subscribed to us in iTunes, make sure you do a search for Zenfolio in iTunes and subscribe so you get the notifications when new videos and new live streams come out. So until then, have a great week. I'll see you guys next week, same time and same place.